नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स नमो तस्स भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्स. So today we are going to read third sutta from the Chudavagga of the Sutta Nipata. So let us go there. The sutta is named Hiri Sutta. Hiri means moral shame, conscience, conscientiousness. That is called Hiri. So what Buddha says, Hirim tarantam vijigukshamanam tavaham asmi iti bhasamanam. Flouting conscience, loathing it, saying, I am on your side. Saihanikam mani anadiyantam ne somamanti itinam vijanya. But not following up in deeds. No, they are not on your side. Ananvayam piyam vacham. Some say nice things to their friends. Yo mitte supakubbati. Akarontam bhasamanam. Parijananti pandita. Some say nice things to their friends without following it up. The wise will recognize one who talks without doing. Naso mitto yasada apamato veda sanki randhamevanupasi. Yasmin cha seti urasiva putto save mitto yo parehi abhejo. Naso mitto yo sada apamatto veda sanki randham evanupasi. No true friend relentlessly suspects betrayal, looking for fault. There are some friends who always look for our faults and they're worried that we will betray them. Yasmin cha seti urasiva puto. One on whom you rest like a child on his father's breast. Save mitto yo parehi abhejo. He is a true friend on whose chest you can rest like a child. He will not split from you by others. Pamuchakaranam thanam vasansawahanam sukam phalani sanso bhaveti vahanto porisam dhuram. One whose rewards is the fruit of bearing the burden of service, develops a happy state, producing joy and attracting praise. पविएकरसं पीत्वा रसम् उपशमस्य च निद्रो होति निपापो धम्मपीति rasam pivanti. One who has drunk the nectar of seclusion and the nectar of peace, free of stress, free of evil, drinks the joyous nectar of Dhamma. Hiri Suttam Tatiyam. So, this is the sutta. It's a very short sutta. There is a commentary on it, and we will read the commentary now. Okay. So, what is the origin? Before the Blessed One arose, means before the Buddha became Buddha, there lived in Savatthi a rich Brahmin with 80 kotis of wealth. He had one son who was dear and beloved to him. He brought the boy up with all sorts of enjoyments and luxuries, as if he were a young deity. But he and his wife died before giving him his inheritance. After the boy's parents passed away, the treasurer opened the treasury, gave him his inheritance, and said, "This, master, is the property of your parents. Is the property of your parents. This comes from your grandfather and great grandfather. This has come down through 7 generations." The young man looked at the wealth and thought, "This wealth remains, but those who accumulated it have vanished. All have fallen into the hands of death, and they departed without taking any of it. One must abandon one's wealth and pass on to the next world, and it is not possible to take anything but one's good conduct. Let me now relinquish this wealth and take the wealth of good conduct, which it is possible to take along with one when one goes, when one passes up." So each day he gave away 1 lakh coins. That Brahmin boy, he donated 1 lakh coins each day and then reflected again. This wealth is abundant. Why give away so little? Let me give a great alms offering. He informed the king, "Great king, there is so much wealth in my home. I wish to give a great alms offering. Please, great king, make an announcement in the city." The king did as requested. The young man filled the receptacles of everyone who came and in 7 days gave away all his wealth. He then reflected, "Having made such a great relinquishment, it is not fitting for me to live at home. Let me go forth." He then informed his retinue about this matter. They pleaded with him in various ways, saying, "Master, don't think that your wealth is exhausted. In a short time, by various means, we will collect wealth." However, without acceding to their request, he went forth in the manner of a hermit. Hermits are of 8 kinds: those with a wife and children, those who subsist by gleaning, those who subsist when time arrives, the raw food eaters, the stone feasters, the cutters with teeth, the eaters of growing fruit, the eaters of things freed from the stems. Of those with a wife and children go forth together with their wife and children, earning a living by agriculture, trade, and other means, like the Jatila Kenya. There was a hermit, that means he had a mutt, he had an ashram, but he was staying with his wife and children, and he was doing agriculture. Those who subsist by gleaning have a hermitage built near the entrance to the city, and there they train young Khattiyas, Brahmins, and others in various crafts. Rejecting bullion and gold. They accept allowable goods such as sesame seeds, rice grains, and other foodstuffs. These are superior to those with a wife and children. Means there are some hermits who will build their ashram near the gate of the city, and they will train the Brahmins and Khatriyas in various crafts, and they will not accept gold or silver. They will accept only raw food or all types of food they will accept. Okay. Those third type of hermit, those who subsist when the time arrives, maintain themselves by accepting food at the time for the meal. These are superior to those who live by greed. Means there are hermits who will accept the food only when they are hungry. At other time they will not accept. Fourth type of hermits, the raw food eaters, maintain themselves by eating leaves and fruits that have not been cooked. These are superior to those who subsist when the time arrives. So there are some hermits who will eat only leaves and fruits. They will not take any cooked food. Fifth, the stone feasters wander around with the fish-sized stone or other implement like an axe or knife, and when they become hungry, they take the bark from the trees they chance upon, undertake the factors of the uposatha, and develop the four divine abodes. These are superior to the raw food eaters. So they will take a stone, keep a stone with them, and whenever they are hungry, they will cut the tree's bark and eat it, and they will follow the Metta, Karuna, Mudita, and Upekha. They will develop. So because they are developing the Brahma Viharas, they are superior to earlier one. The sixth, the cutters with teeth wander around without taking a piece-sized stone or any other implement. When they become hungry, they use their teeth to tear the bark of any tree they chance upon, eat it, and then they undertake the factors of the Uposatha and develop the four divine abodes. These are superior to the stone feasters. So these sixth type of hermits, they will use only their teeth to cut the fruits and the bark. So they are supposed to be superior to the fifth one because they are not using any stone. Then seventh type of hermits. The eaters of growing fruit live near a natural lake or a woodland thicket. They eat only lotus roots in the lake, or when the thicket bears flowers, they eat flowers and fruits when it bears fruits. If there are no flowers and fruits, they live even by eating the shoots of the trees. But they do not go elsewhere for the sake of food, and they undertake the factors of uposatha and develop the four divine apples. These are superior to the cutters with teeth. So these seventh type of hermits, they stay near a lake, and they do not go, they do not wander anywhere in around that lake only. Whatever is available, they will eat and they will develop from it. Eighth type of hermit. The eaters of things freed from their stems eat only leaves freed from their stems and fallen to the ground, but they are otherwise similar to the rest. These are the best of all. So eight type of hermits, they will eat only fallen fruits and fallen leaves. They will not cut it even by hand or teeth or stone, or they will not take any food from others. So these are the best of all. So that commentaries say that this eighth type of hermit is the best hermit of them all. So the Brahmin youth decided. So in our story, we mentioned about that Brahmin youth who has donated all his wealth and now he wants to become a hermit, he wants to become a sannyasi. So he decided among the different ways that hermit goes forth, I will go forth in the foremost manner. So he decided that he will eat only the leaves and fruits which are fallen on the ground. And so he went forth as one who eats only things freed from their stems. He traveled across 2 or 3 mountains in the Himalayas, built a hermitage, and settled down there. When the Blessed One arose in the world and had set in motion the wheel of the Dhamma, in stages he went to Savatthi, where he lived at Jetha's grove, Anath Pindika's park. At the time, a citizen of Savatthi, searching for sandalwood, etc., in the mountains, arrived at the hermit's hermitage. Having paid homage to him, he stood to one side. The hermit looked at him and asked, "From where you have come?" And the passenger said, "From Savatthi Bhante." So he said, "What is happening there?" "People there are heedful and do meritorious deeds such as giving. Whose exhortations do they heed? That of blessed one, the Buddha." Hearing the word Buddha, the hermit was astonished and asked, "Good man, did you say Buddha?" He asked three times, in the way explained in relation to the discourse on carry on, and then was pleased, thinking, even this utterance Buddha is rare in the world. He wanted to visit the Blessed One, but then reflected, it would not be fitting for me to call on the Buddha empty-handed. What should I bring along? He again reflected, the Buddhas do not value material things. Let me bring a gift of Dhamma. He then formulated four questions. What kind of friend should one not associate with? What kind of friend should one associate with? To what kind of exertion should one apply oneself? What is the foremost of the tastes? So these are the four questions he formulated as a gift to the Buddha, this Brahmin person who was meditating in the Himalayas, living as a hermit, living on only leaves and fruits. So he wanted to see Buddha, and before going to Buddha, he wanted to take a gift to the Buddha, and he thought that any material gift is of no use to the Buddha. So I must prepare a gift which is a Dhammic one related to Dhamma. And he formulated four questions. Taking these questions, he set off in the direction of the middle region, Madhya Pranta. Okay, at that time, the area of border of UP and Nepal, it was called Madhya Pranta, so it is called middle region. He eventually reached Savatthi and entered Jeta's grove. At the time, the Blessed One was sitting in his seat, preparing to teach the Dhamma. When he saw the Blessed One, without paying respects, he stood to one side. The Blessed One welcomed him. See, although he did not pay respect, the Buddha welcomed him. The Buddha says, "Is the Rishi getting along well?" And he replied, "I am getting along well, Master Gautama." He then considered, if he is a Buddha, I will ask the questions with my mind and he will answer them verbally. So he thought that if he is a Buddha, he will find out what is going on my mind and he will answer without my uttering those questions. And so he asked the Blessed One those questions only with his mind. So only mentally he repeated these four questions. In reply, the Blessed One then spoke 2.5 verses, beginning one floating moral shape as answer to the first question. Their meaning is as follows. So what was the first question? The first question is, what kind of friend should one not associate with? So the Buddha replies the first question. Their meaning is as follows. One flouting moral shame, one transgressing moral shame, one who is shameless, present, despising it, looking upon it as foul. For a shameless person despises moral shame and regards it as a foul. Hence he does not resort to it or adhere to it, for which reason it is said, despairing it, who says, I am your friend. Somebody says that I am your friend. Speaking such words as this, my dear, I am your friend, desiring your welfare and happiness. For your sake, I would even give up my life, but does not do what can be done. Having spoken in this way, he does not do what can be done. He does not undertake deeds possible for him to do, or alternatively, without arousing even the least bit of respect in his mind in regard to such matters. Whenever certain tasks arise, he shows one only the way that leads to ruin. One should know of him, he is not my friend. A wise person should know of a friend like this. He is a bogus friend. He is not my friend. So the Buddha says that you should not associate with those people who are not wise, who flatter you on your face, but they will not help you when the time arises. You should not associate with these persons. Now, who utters endearing speech to his friends, displaying cordiality with terms referring to the past and future, sustaining the relationship in an unbeneficial way. He addresses his friends with speech that is only superficially endearing. Without following it up with deeds, he utters words to the effect, I will give, I will do, but does not follow through though on them. The wise understand this one as one who speaks without acting. The wise understand one such as this, who does not do what he proposes, but only utters words as one who is just a talker, a non-friend, a bogus friend. He is not a friend who is always alert in suspecting dissension, observing only one's faults. One should not associate it with that type of friend who, suspecting dissension with nothing better to do, always dwells close by, alert, looking only for one's flaw. So he remains in your company, but he keeps on looking for your fault and he is always suspecting that you will betray. So that if one has done something wrong through carelessness or inattention or failed to do something through ignorance, he can bring it up thus. When he criticizes me, I will reproach him with this. Thus, having answered the first question, what kind of friend should not one not associate with? The blessed one next spoke this half verse, but he on whom one relies to answer the second question. This is its meaning, but he on whom one relies. One friend who enters the heart of a friend and relies on him, like a son on his father's breast, who rests there assured, not apprehensive that there might be pain or displeasure for him while I am resting on his breast. In just this way, entrusting even one's wife, wealth, and life to the care of one's friend, one rests assured in one's friendship, one who cannot be divided by others, even if they present 100 or 1,000 reasons for breaking off the friendship, is truly a friend with whom one should associate. Thus, having answered the second question, what kind of friend should one associate with? The blessed one next spoke of us. One develops a state productive of joy. To answer the third question. What is the third question? The third question is, to what kind of exertion should one apply oneself? To what kind of exertion should one apply oneself? That is the third question. So Buddha says, one develops a state productive of joy. To answer the third question. So this is where Hivim comes. Buddha here clearly says that one develops a state productive of joy. So you should develop a joy. That's why Bhante Vimlaramsi tells us to smile. And smile automatically develops a state productive of joy. To answer the third question, Buddha says this. This is its meaning. A state productive of joy is what makes for joy. But what is that? Energy, which is said to be productive of joy because it gives rise to rapture, joy, and happiness connected with the Dhamma. So when you smile, you are generating an energy which will lead to rapture, joy, and happiness connected with the Dhamma. As it is said, because one who is energetic in a well expounded Dhamma and discipline lives happily. It brings praise because it leads to praise. With reference to its fruit, it is called happiness because initially it produces celestial and human happiness and finally the happiness of Nibbana. So when you practice the Brahma Viharas with smile and with relaxed steps, then definitely initially it brings you material happiness, mental happiness, and finally Nibbana. Expecting its fruit, one is expectant of its fruit and benefit, carrying out one's personal duty. Having taken up a task suitable for a person, one develops this state, a designation for the energy of right striving. Such an exertion should be cultivated. Having thus answered the third question, The blessed one spoke of us, the taste of solitude, to answer the fourth question. So, the fourth question is, what is the foremost of tastes? Which rasa is the best rasa? What is the foremost of the tastes? And the blessed one spoke the taste of solitude, remaining alone, the taste of being alone, not expecting anything from anybody else. Being alone does not mean staying in a jungle. You can be in a place where there are full of men and women. There is a lot of rush, traffic is going on, but still you are alone because you are not expecting anything from anybody else, not even from yourself. Okay. So here it is the supreme fruit of arhatship that is called solitude because it has arisen through seclusion from defilements. Its taste is the associated pleasure, so called in the sense of enjoyment. That same arhatship is called tranquil peace because it is born from the allaying of defilements or because its object is peace, designation for Nibbana. That same arhatship is called the taste of rapture in the Dhamma because it is the taste of the rapture that never departs from the noble Dhamma and that has arisen in relation to the Dhamma consisting in Nibbana. Having drunk that taste of solitude and the taste of peace, drinking the taste of rapture in the Dhamma, one is without distress, without evil. Having drunk this, one is without distress through the absence of the fever of defilements, and drinking it, one is also without evil, because one has abandoned evil. Therefore, this is the foremost of the tastes. But some interpret these three things, the taste of solitude, tranquil peace, and rapture in the Dhamma, by way of jhana, nibbana, and reviewing knowledge, and by way of bodily seclusion, mental seclusion, and seclusion from acquisitions. The previous explanation alone is good. Thus, in answering the fourth question, the Blessed One concluded the teaching with its culmination in arhantship. At the conclusion of the teaching, the Brahman went forth under the Blessed One and in just a few days became an arhant possessed in the analytical knowledges. So this is how the Arthakatha ends. There are some notes on the Arthakatha. We'll see what are the notes given by Bhikkhu Bodhi, 1026 to 1040. So we'll see what Bhikkhu Bodhi wants to say more about this short sutta. So what he says that in another text, we have actually read 8 types of hermit. So in another text, it says that there is a different list of 8 from these 8 hermits. When we talked about a stone in a hermit's hand, the word is asamutthika. In some texts, it is asmamutthika. So asa is Pali, asma is Sanskrit. So both mean stone. This rendering is supported by the commentary explanation pashan. Pasan. In commentary, it is said pasan. Asa is pasan. Then there is a word danta loyakka. Loyakka is from Lunati. B adds here khaditva, having eaten, which though absent in C and seems necessary to complete the meaning. In all 3 editions, khaditva occurs in the parallel statement about the next class of hermits. The verses are also at, so some verses are also at in Jataka somewhere. Sahyani kammani anadi antam ti evam bhasitvapi just sahyani kadum sakampi tassa kammani. It is evidently intended as the clause on sahyani, but the parallel Jataka has sahyani kammani. Supreme treats that according with verb. So there is some kind of difference between the Jataka verses and in Sutta Nipata verses. Tatita Nagatihi Pade. This probably refers to the reminders of past favors done and promises of future favors. So some friends, they will promise you that we have done, they will say that I have done a lot of things for you in the past and I will do many things for you in the future. But in the past, they will do nothing. In the present, they will do nothing. So this type of friends he is talking about. Vyanjanachaya mattena evam piyam, literally endearing only to a mere shadow of the expression. Pada in all editions reads Naso mittoyo sada appamat. Everyone where else in Nikayas, appamat has a positive sense, heedful or diligent. Here, however, we find a rare negative use of this word. Appamatto, heedful. But he is heedful in looking for your faults. So, generally, heedfulness is used for being heedful in meditation. But here, the word has been used in negative sense. That's what we do. Which I render alert to distinguish it from the positive sense. This false friend is alert only in looking for out for one's faults. It is also possible the text has been corrupted. Gatamadhurena upacharena sada appamatto viharati. A global search through CST4 does not turn up any other occurrences of Kamadhuri, either in the Tripitaka or the commentaries. Hence, my rendering is a guess based on a rendering with what task. So there are some, again, Randhameva Anupassi is also there in Jatakas. Again, the Jataka treats this verse as a further elaboration on good friendship, which may be a more satisfactory expression than one given by Paramahansa. It says that here the state product of joy refers specifically to good friendship. For friendship with a wise and good friend produces joy, brings praise, and is a cause for bodily and mental happiness in this world and the next. So, see, for when we very good explanation again for twin meditators. So when Buddha says what produces joy, so in Jataka Arthakatha, they say that a good companion uh, generates a state of joy. So apart from smile, even a spiritual friend whom you like, whom you wish well, he also produces a state of joy. So this also support the first stage of twin meditation here. B alone repeats the question here. Kidi sopayogo vayunnithi. So the Brahmin asked the Buddha the last question that which is the best taste in the world? And he says the taste of loneliness. After telling him who is a bad friend, after telling him who is good friend, now he's telling him who is which is the best rasa. Inciting the lemma as Dhammapiti Rasam Bivam Nidaroho inverse Pada C and D of the text. So it's just of literal interest. So this ends the notes on the sutta also. So any questions? So this is a very short dialogue between the Buddha and the Brahmin, where the Brahmin asks 4 questions and Buddha replies to these 4 questions. So this is a very short sutta. It is over. Its commentary also over. Notes also over. Any questions?
Sir, actually, I was looking for the sutta in the Sutta Central. Where can we find commentaries in that? The sutta is very short, actually, in this Sutta Central.
Commentaries. There is a book by Bhikkhu Bodhi, commentaries on Sutta Nipata.
Okay.
This is the book. Can you see?
No. Yeah, now we can see it. Okay.
Yeah. So the book is from Wisdom Publications. You can order online from Amazon. Okay. The
Okay, sir.
Sutta Nipata by Bhikkhu Bodhi. Okay. The
Okay.
Sutta Nipata by Bhikkhu Bodhi. So some commentaries are good. See, today's commentary was very good to understand the Sutta. But some commentaries involve a lot of miracles, and they may, scientific people may not agree with all the commentaries, but sometimes commentaries are helpful. So it is good.
Okay.
Suttanipata is supposed to be the earliest teaching of the Buddha. So we are reading it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Now
you, sir, for sharing.
you have one question?
No, sir. I was just saying thank you for sharing.
Okay. So I request you to share the merits in. Okay. I don't have a.
Okay. May suffering ones be suffering free, and fear stuck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all the beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.